Good afternoon. Hello. Hi. Shout out to all the parents whose kids are back at school today. Yes. I wanted to celebrate with you. Yes. 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 Hello. 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 I wanted to celebrate with all the parents whose kids are back at school today. Woo! Yes. Because wow, it's been a long time since they've been at school. Hello, everybody. Are you back at work? What's happening? Tell me what's happening. Are you back at work? I usually take some time off. I usually take a week after the kids go back to school, and that week is just for myself. So today they went back to school, but then I had to pop into my office. I'm just like, actually, I'm gonna go back to work because I've really missed the energy of the team. And yeah, so it feels like all we've been doing is parenting. So you're back to the grind, Kenya. Oh, no, it really just feels like, my girls finished writing exams in November. So they've been on holiday since, and and they're quite independent. I mean, they're turning 15 this year. They're big people, but you still kind of have to be there. So yeah, even the ones who don't have kids, that's okay too. You can celebrate with us because it's like there's a certain freedom that you feel when they've gone back to school. You can suddenly have some time to yourself. It's wonderful to be with them, and any parent will tell you we'll probably start missing them by day 3. I agree with you, Kanya. They eat all day, all the time, every time. But yeah, and I think these holidays also felt even longer because we didn't go away. So we were just home, which was wonderful. We are blessed with families, so there's no complaint there. And this is all just for laughs. But yeah, I'm also now starting to stretch my body and getting into my work rhythm. I actually have that. I literally have that moment when my mind just kicks in and I'm like, okay, let's go. So I've been having some wonderful meetings about my series. Guys, I'm having serious meetings. Like, if I tell you the people I'm talking to, I'm just like, I never in my entire life thought I'd be talking to global networks. And it's just amazing. But I think what I'm really enjoying. I found someone who's talking me through some of these media things, because it's all new to me. I didn't set out to start another career, but it just found me through my purpose work. So it's really exciting, and it's so nice to have someone that I can literally call and be like, okay, so tell me more about this. Tell me more about this. I'm incredibly business minded, so on the business side I'm covered, but I need to understand the industry a whole lot more, because when you start negotiating with the big guns, it's a whole different ball game. So yeah, that's what I'm up to these days. I am so energized. I feel really great, and it's such an incredible thing to just continuously learn, and I'm sucking it up. I'm sucking it all up, and it's so new to me. But when you are on the right path with your purpose, it's so many things unfold. So many things God just puts them your way. I see you people are complaining about children eating. What else are they supposed to do? But they eat. I recently had my friend's 3 boys come over for a sleepover. So I had 7 children in the house, all ranging between 9 and 16. Of the 7, 5 were boys. I was just like, I know, so it's a lot, but it's such a blessing. They're so cute. I love children. I really do. And yeah, yes, I'm chilling with the big boys, the big girls too, but so far it's been conversations with the big boys. But yeah, it's I'm incredibly amazed by what hey Piggy. Yeah, your 3 boys also. Hi, my friend. I don't know how you do it. But they are growing people, man. They must eat. I know. As parents, we like to complain about how much our children eat, but then when the food rots in the fridge and the cupboards, then we have a problem with it. So let them eat. The only thing is they won't be gobbling up papa and umfino. They want the yummy stuff, the yummy. Yeah, so how was my first day? It was amazing. I didn't spend a lot of time, but I went and spent some, energy, just exchange some energy with my team. So that was really lovely. They said to me they needed a bit of the Amanda boost to start off the year. So that was really nice. Oh, it's so nice to connect with them, because we've had 2 years, guys, of not being physically in the same space with each other. But I actually think the last 2 years feels like a blur. It's a blur, but the only way I remind myself that it does exist is because, I look at all the things I achieved during the lockdown and continuously running a business throughout the lockdown. And also, the things I've been able, my personal goals, the things I've been able to achieve, I'm just like, wow, the 2 years are not a blur after all. So I think if you're feeling like the last 2 years have been a waste, just take a moment and look at what you've already achieved. And look at what you achieved in the 2 years. That was incredibly difficult. And we've been through a lot. I mean, juggling health issues, family sick, friends sick, even some of you being sick, yourself being sick, has been quite a thing, whilst trying to earn a living and pushing through with our dreams. So if anything, I think we should really pat ourselves on the back that we're still here and we're still pushing and we haven't given up yet. And it takes a lot to keep going, even when things are probably stacking up against you. So I want to commend you for that. I want to say, well done. Let's go. Let's keep going, Busi says, does talking come naturally to you? No nerves? No, I don't have nerves. You mean like right now? No, I wouldn't have started this life if I had nerves. I guess you get butterflies when you're going to talk to a new audience. And I'm talking about, delivering talks. I'm not talking about what I'm doing now. Here, I'm not nervous here, whether you like what I say or not. but when you get paid to stand on a stage and talk to people and deliver a certain message, if you're dealing with an audience that you maybe typically haven't dealt with before, or it's a topic that is maybe it's not a topic that you always talk about, you're bound to have some nerves. But for me, it's not nerves that are debilitating, because ultimately people pay a lot of money to hear me speak, so I gotta deliver the goods. so yeah, I just take a deep breath and I get on with it. And I always tell myself, every time I feel the butterflies getting a bit too fluttery, I tell myself that remember, Amanda, they want to hear from you. So the fact that they went through every single speaker that exists and they landed up and said, we are going to pay Amanda a lot of money to come and talk to us. That's all the reason why I should shake off the nerves and do my thing. And baby, I do my thing. I gonna be done with my things, So, but I'm on a speaking break now. So I'm tired of speaking. So I had one of the big banks asked me to do a speaking engagement for them on the 24th, and I said, I'm still still stretching my body. I don't really feel like talking about myself for a couple of months. I did a lot of that. So yeah. Ted says, how do I manage it all? Do I have a sleeping routine to stay energized? Yeah, I sleep for 10 hours a day. Every single day I get at least, if I say I've had a badish night, I'll probably have 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I know it sounds like such a flex, but it's true. I sleep on average 10 hours most nights of the week. I told you guys the other time, I don't spend a lot of time watching TV or anything like that. I really value my sleep. But during December, I started, I wanted to just like watch something. You know, when you're just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm relaxing, having some verve, let me see what I can watch. And I watched a series on Netflix called The Last Kingdom. I practically binged on it. But every time I was watching it, some days I would sleep at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I said to my husband, I don't know how you people do this thing. So I tried it again, and I'm just like, I really enjoyed the series, but it's that Netflix thing is a problem because the episodes just keep coming, and before you know it, you've been watching this thing like the whole day and the whole night. So yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed it because I really felt like watching something, and yeah, it is a flex. I know. I really sleep. That's one. But I must actually talk about sleep because I think that's one of the most underrated and underestimated recovery points. And it's not just recovery mentally, because your cells need to regenerate. Your body needs to regenerate and get what it needs. So if you don't get enough sleep, you're not very sharp. No. The person that says I must try documentaries, it's not because I don't have anything to watch. I just don't like to watch TV except if it's sport or something that I've specifically picked to watch. So I'm not a person that just sits in front of the TV just for the sake of it and like scroll through. Sometimes I sit in front of the TV and just like not switch it on. Maybe I'll read something or catch up on something. In my I read a lot of relevant articles online. So it's not because I don't have things to watch, no. So don't recommend anything. Thank you, guys. TV takes up way too much time. But yeah, every now and then I watch some things that catch up on TV if there's something I want to watch. So about sleep, you must never underestimate the power of sleep. It helps with weight loss. So when I mean weight loss, I don't mean like sleep your way through your weight problems. I just mean that because your body, I mean, I saw the other day, I burn about 680 calories just sleeping. So if you have a proper wellness, way, and I don't want to call it a plan because I don't have plans. Somebody asked earlier, do I fast? No, I don't fast. No, I don't fast. I don't need to fast. I'm not sure why I would fast, so I don't. So with sleep, your wellness, just living well means drinking lots of water, getting sleep, getting your exercise in, and guys, exercise can be literally 30-minute walk every morning. Just get into it. You don't have to be going to gym and doing all sorts of things. I don't go to gym, but I shall get on the road and I walk and get my walks in. I do at least 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers about 3 times a week. And I just, take it easy. My routine is walking. And I'll run every now and then. So just do something and eat well, eat healthy. There are people who go to gym 6 times a week and then they eat rubbish and they don't see any progress with their goals. I'm like, yo, what a waste of energy. I really don't like gym. I overdid gym when I was younger and single. I used to go to gym 6 times a week for 2 hours a day. I had nothing else to do with my life, to be honest, except gym, work, and I think now I've just like, I'm not doing it. I don't even like the sight of gym. I don't like the smell of gym. I don't like, especially the ones with the pool. I don't like the smell of chlorine. And I used to be in there swimming, doing all sorts of things. Now I'm just like, nah, I don't need to go to gym. I'll just get on the road and then I exercise here at home. I do some Pilates moves that I've learned over time that work for me. So, yeah, anyway, that's why for me, sleep is probably my biggest flex. This one says, how do you stay centered with so many competing priorities? Centered, you have to find what works for you. Whilst I have, everything pulling me left, right, center, I also have a lot of support. So my husband is huge support, but I don't call that support, because the things my husband does are not things that are designated for me, so he's supporting me. No, he's not some supporting act in this house. We are both lead actors. So there's no, can you please help me with the kids? No, it's his kids. He must do what needs to be done. Fortunately, it's not a conversation about that we ever have. It's not, there are no issues or anything like that. My husband is very hands-on. So it's not one of those things where, yeah, but I fetched them yesterday, why don't you? Nah, whoever wants to fetch kids, you fetch the kids. So you want to drop them off. So, so sometimes you can do it consistently for a long period of time, or it's not a chore for us. We love doing it. So when I say support, I mean, if there's something I really need to take care of and I'm away, and my husband then, he handles the home business. Same as him, when he's gone, I handle the home business. So there's no, I'm worried what's going to happen. And we have housekeepers for help, where we need more help. So yeah, even things like when they are away on holiday, my husband cleans, guys. He washes dishes. I think there's a standing joke in this house that I should try washing dishes. It's fun. I'm like, nah, it's okay. I'd rather cook. So yeah, I think that really helps. So I chose right. And then obviously, at work I've got a team I work with, so they always, they take the pressure off me, especially Catherine really helps me with a lot. And then but I don't want to be dependent on people. I always tell her, I'm like, you start now and then I must be dependent on you. I'm like, I know how to schedule my own meetings, but now you want to do it and then I'm going to be dependent on you. And then, but I've actually learned, I've learned to just let her do her thing. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do without her. To be honest, I don't know how I've been able to do all these things without support, without that kind of help. And I've had help before, but it wasn't as permanent as it is now. I've always resisted the idea of having someone assist me. But the more of the things I do, the more I need the support. So, but also I do think that we want to do it all as women. We think that the world will fall apart if we don't. Actually, the world will carry on. Take some time out for yourself if you need it. I know how to do that. I know very well how to step back. I know when it's time for me to just like time out and sometimes it really is just that morning walk and just listen to my music. There's music I can't listen amongst the family members, so I missed the family members. So this music I can only listen when I go for a walk. So it's my violence releasing music. So yeah, that's one of the ways that I just get my calm together. But also I do things I enjoy, so I never have to feel like things in my life are a chore. And I think it's important to kind of like work out, what feels like a chore and what's draining your energy. So I'm highly energized most of the days because the things I do are things that energize me. Of course, you have challenges in business, you have challenges in life, but it's about what I just approach everything with this notion that nothing is permanent. If you're having a struggle in business or in your personal life somehow, it's not going to be forever. It's just that moment. Even in business, I've grown to accept, because before you have a tough thing with a client, or something doesn't go right, or you mess up, and I used to be like, take it out to heart and hang on to it. I was just like, nah. Now something happens, fix it. If you can't fix it, move on from it. And in a way, I don't hang on to disappointments a lot. I don't hang on to disappointments. Even victories, I celebrate them, but I move along from them. I take the moment, take them in, and then move on to the next and keep working. Because if you dwell in those things for too long, you lose sight of the goal and the vision. So yeah, I hope that helps. Thank you, guys. I'll just read some of these. Yes, I finished the Last Kingdom, Utrecht. It was completely mindless, but I finished it and I enjoyed it. So all 4 seasons. But I started sometime mid-December, and I think I only finished it just after Christmas. Was it after Christmas?
What?
My series, that Netflix thing I was watching.
Oh, before Christmas.
Did I finish it before Christmas? No, after, because we were in Clarence, yeah. So yeah, I finished it after. I am enjoying it. You'll love it. My husband watched it, but my husband hates leads that never win. He says, so tell me when Utrecht is going to start winning, because everyone is just screwing him over. But yeah, that was good. Yes, guys, please try and get some sleep. This is quite sweet. Lily Fokumo says, when I was still employed, my daughter hated school because I had to drop her off early. I have my own business now and she's enjoying school because we sleep enough. I must say that's really beautiful. That's one of the reasons why running your own business is I think that's one of the greatest benefits. In fact, even the hard times that you do encounter every now and then are countered by, there's that satisfaction when you're able to have flexibility in your life. When I was in corporate, everything was just hectic. Sometimes I'd get to the office at 6 o'clock, hoping to just push my work before people arrive. But I get to work at 6 and there's people start arriving around that time. And the moment there's someone in the office, that's it, because they want to talk to you about everything under the sun. So I used to work really long hours and back-to-back meetings and never had time to get involved in my family's life. And it's one of the reasons I left corporate. But again, that flexibility does come at a cost, But I have found that I gave up nothing, to be honest. I gained so much more by leaving corporate because I am an entrepreneur through and through. And also, it was time that I started chasing what was my own agenda and drive what I wanted to drive through some of the purpose work that I do, and just live out my purpose. So yeah, it's I don't want people to always think that you must quit your corporate jobs just so that you can have flexibility. I do think that in fact, I write about this in The 4 Arrows, my latest book. There's Oh, yeah, my books are available only on my website. People still ask me about bookshops. Guys, no, please. It's 2022, darlings. We do our own value chain, end to end. So yeah, I think people in corporate just have to understand that, your job is not your life. It's just a part of your life, and it enables a lot of your life. But the amount of personal time that people end up giving to jobs is incredible, and you never get it back. And unfortunately, you also grow resentful because no one ever compensates you to the level of what the time actually cost. So you give up time with your family, and that bonus doesn't come, and that increase doesn't come, and it's dependent on somebody else's opinion. So what I always say to people that I coach is, and sometimes that I mentor, I say that you have to be very, very sticky about your personal time. And people in any job, in anything, in fact, will treat you the way that you're allowing them to treat you. So if you are the kind that's constantly pushing long hours and taking on other people's work and always trying to help others at your expense, people will keep doing that. No one's going to say, oh no, I feel sorry for her. No, they'll keep doing it. They'll dump work on your lap, and then they go home and have soup with their family. So you have to be so wise about how you are doing your work and be smart about it, because do your work and do it to the best of your ability. And working long hours must be on the rare occasion. It must not be the norm. Gone are those days where people had to burn themselves out just to climb the ladder or to be seen to be progressing in their lives. Guys, we really have to make rest and mental wellness something that matters, something that actually trends. People that say to me, oh, I work so hard, such long hours, I don't really find it cute. I think you need to be able to handle your business. I don't find it cute because I know what the cost is. I've been there before. So yeah, I'm really happy for you that you were able to make that lifestyle change. And I also hope that you're making some money in your business. If not, it will come, as long as you keep doing the right things. Thank you, Busi. Is glad I'm talking about the importance of sleep. I really think that the days of working like a slave are long gone. And I no longer think that your success is going to be is still determined by how much you do. I think I really am, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are. I'm all about people who are working smart and then having proper lives, so you can have your career and be proper at it and like really excel at it, and then go for your hikes, go for your runs, go outside of the country, run your marathons, go and work in your vegetable garden, be there for your family. We must make it fashionable to actually put our families first. And I really think that most of the inflexibility we end up with in our jobs and in corporate, even entrepreneurs actually also trap themselves in these worlds where they think, oh my gosh, if I don't keep pushing this, I'm going to lose the client, or I'm going to lose that. No, those are things that you define what the boundaries are. There's one thing I don't do in my business. I don't do dinners for business. And I've had my business now, my business is 9 years old, and I've been running it for 8 years. I don't do business dinners. I've never done business dinners. It's a rule for me that I'm not going to go and have dinner with people to talk business. Why can't we talk during the day? I can have breakfast. I can have breakfast at 7 o'clock, 6:30, whatever. Tell me, but I'm not going to sacrifice my personal time because I want a contract or I want a project. No. So I'm very rarely do I go out for dinner with to discuss business. I really think there's many hours in the day when we can discuss that. Otherwise, if you choose that that's the time you want, then I'll just keep walking. Yeah, but sorry, I almost ended the video by mistake. Okay, let me see what I've got here. Some nice comments, guys. Thank you. Yeah, this sleep issue is a problem for a lot of people. Saying you only survive 4 hours of sleep, that's just a habit thing. It's a bad habit thing. So we're all wired to sleep, but it's about what are your habits leading up to bedtime. So my husband is the kind that would watch TV a lot and work straight into late hours, and then he struggles to sleep. I'm like, yeah, but if your mind is constantly active, you're not going to be able to sleep, because it takes a lot. If you don't do meditation and things like that, it takes a lot to be able to switch your mind off and sleep the whole night. So it's all about the habits. For example, I'll tell you, I don't. I go to bed between 8 and 8:30. If it's late, it's like 9 o'clock, and then I don't take my phone to my bed. And in fact, what I tend to do is there's a certain hour where I actually stop looking at my phone. And because on your phone, you might open an email that's going to upset you. That's it. You won't be able to sleep. And also, like I said, I don't really watch a lot of TV. So my bedtime routine is it's all about calming this down, so that when I get to bed, I hit the pillow, I'm gone. If my husband is trying to get my attention, he better run after me when I go to bed. But I hit the pillow. It's not even 3 minutes. I'm gone. So, but I also think it's because if I'm losing sleep or I'm struggling to sleep, it's because something is bothering me, or my mind is racing about something. So it's about the habits that you develop. And having 4 hours of sleep, there's nothing healthy about that. So you want to try and just extend that a bit. But having said that, I think what I've found is that you may have 8 hours of sleep and it's interrupted throughout the night. That's not quality sleep. What you are fighting for is quality sleep. So I definitely don't think there's any place in the world where 4 hours sleep is healthy. But if you can get a good 6 solid hours of sleep, if that's the best you can master, then you do that, but let it be quality sleep. So yeah, but I think I've said enough about sleep. You're all quite excited about this sleep business. Yeah, outdoor running is the best because you get to connect with nature. I'm just such a nature person. I sit outside in my garden and I just I'm in awe of God's creations, and how we are connected to nature. And I love it. I love just sitting and listening to the birds, looking at the trees. I could do that all day. And running outdoors, I like running much earlier in the day because before there's cars, because then the fumes just spoil it all for me. And then it makes it a struggle for me to run. So I really do. I do enjoy running outdoors when it's still and very few people around, just runners. Can you open this? Yeah. Thanks. Bye. I'm glad to hear that your journey for 2022 and beyond is enough sleep and self-care. Well done. Okay, I see there's some questions here as well. I chose well, guys. It's been 16 years. I'm like, yes. Like, yes. Now I've already been successfully married. Even if something happens from here on and it ends, I'm like, now I've already been successful at this thing. So, hello from Denmark. Hi. Oh, I love Denmark. Yeah, I really think we must fight not to do it all this year. Come on, guys. Let's find healthy habits. Let's just chill. But I also think it's a life stage thing as well, to be honest. Because there's a time in your life where you have to be pushing hard. But I still think that even within that pushing hard context, there must be some boundaries. And a lot of us we didn't have boundaries. I didn't have solid boundaries when I was in corporate. And if I ever went back to corporate for some unforeseen and ungodly reason, I would be a far different person than I was back then. And the lessons that I've learned, I will never ever sacrifice my personal time for a job. Never, because the amount of sacrifices I did, and it's no one was forcing me to. It's just, you become part of a system, and there's a certain expectation that you put on yourself. And I swear to God, I wouldn't ever do that again. But to be honest, I'm also really unemployable now. Hello, Kanye. Kanye's in England. Hi. I'm truthfully unemployable now, I think I'd be the worst employee. I'll be really good for the people, but I'd suck for the company. I think they'd fire me. I wouldn't even manage probation period. I'd probably tell the big boss what an idiot they are. So no, please God, never ever let it happen. Anyway. Thank you so much, guys, for the comments. Let me just go through. People that ask me what types of businesses I'm in. Ew, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna check the question box now. Hello, Sisusa from Swaziland. Hello. I am Bahle says, I kind of appreciate working from home sometimes because of the absence of senseless chatting. Well, I've actually been since I left corporate, I'm a work from home person. So, but COVID just took it to another level, because I used to work from home still. I have a full home office, which my husband kind of stole during COVID. And then, yeah, but I used to go to the office, but not every day. But that option was there, I think what has happened in the last 2 years is that the option was taken away by the pandemic, and I have missed my team. I really enjoy being with my team. We play 30 seconds. I'm that boss. They'd be like, no, I'm busy finishing this off. I'm like, yeah, you can finish it after. So we'd be like, playing 30 seconds, having hot wings, drinking verve, and just really connecting and having a good time. It's and I bring my kids sometimes, and they slaughter them. When I say them, they slaughter us in 30 seconds. So yeah, that's the one thing I really have missed a lot. Because you can only have so much conversation with your spouse and your children. It's nice to talk to other people, see how they are doing. And my people, guys, I must tell you, I'm so proud of them. And I've worked with, I think the people I work with have been with me, most of them have been with me since I started the business. Actually, since I started running the business, so 2014. And some of them have been around 5-6 years. I've watched them grow. They have families. I've watched them have kids. I've watched them buy houses, nice cars, go on vacations. I've just watched their lives change. And for me, that really gives me such great joy. You know, they always say, oh, boss, I feel like I work for them, you know. They don't work for me, I work for them. And I do everything I can to make sure that their lives continuously change and stay, you know, as best as they are. I can't do it for everyone out there, but, you know, the people that I have the privilege of working with, it's a great blessing to be able to contribute to their lives. But they earn it, you know, because the ones who don't deserve to be in my company are not in my company. So, you know, either they leave or... And yeah, so I've been with my people for a while, but it's okay for some people to leave and go, you know, explore something else because maybe there's nothing more for them. Because in a company like mine, you'll have to get rid of me to get to my position. So, you know, it's not for everybody. But you know, we've had a good run so far, and we keep going. Sorry, I just had to say something about my team because I saw them today. Okay, let me just see some of these questions, because I actually didn't mean. You see what I do? I come live and then I'm like, no, I was just checking in on you guys, and then whoa, I end up hours and hours. Oh, guys. Yeah, guys. Yeah, no. Please look after yourselves. Look after your families or whatever is important to you. Because even if you don't have children, you don't have to be burying yourself in work. Do your work. Do it to the best of your ability. But go home. Go have hobbies. Go paint something. Go do, you know, live your life and be a well-rounded human being. People that just work and work and work, they also have their social skills suck. Their social skills suck because they're so obsessed with work, and they're constantly just pouring themselves into work. And there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but you know, curb your. I mean, don't curb your ambition, please don't. But be wise and smart about how you go about it. Yeah, no, now I'm just like, I'm done with working hard. I put in my hard yards. I know I say this to people and they're like, please, Amanda, all you know is hard work. I'm like, actually, I guess for me, what my idea of hard work is not what I do, because everything I do right now is something I really enjoy, and it feels like it's who I am. It's not work, you know. So I think there's something to be said for that. Okay, let me just Post Wanderlust says, did you ever get tempted to accept lucrative job offers after leaving corporate when your business was still struggling? My business has never struggled. No, my business has never struggled. You know, and I say this with deep gratitude, because I left corporate, and I left corporate in May 2014. It was a gift to my daughters who had just started grade 1, so they were 7, and I didn't want to work for that whole year, so I was taking the year off because I was burning out proper. I needed a really good break. So my aim was from May till the whole year I wouldn't work, but I would start I would start running the business the following year. But ABSA, a company I used to work for, kept knocking on my door, and I said no, because I don't want to work for my employer. I don't want to do projects and run and have them as my client, because I didn't want to have to deal with the dynamic. But they kept knocking on my door, and I remember my friend Lillian used to be at the bank at the time. She was one of those people. She'd call me in like, Amanda, you're unemployed. Get up, come meet with some people here at the bank. I'd be like, no, I'm resting. So I stayed, I managed to stay the remainder of May, June, July. Guys, all I did was sleep, eat, drink, walk the kids to school, eat, sleep, drink. I would wake up, take the kids to school, come back, sleep, and wake up around 11 because my tummy is grumbling. I got nicely chubby, because I was doing very little. But you know, the knocks kept coming. So eventually, I agreed to meet as someone who had been in a division at ABSA that I had never met before, didn't know them, in the corporate investment banking division. So I met with them and started a new project there in August of 2014, and I've had such great fortune from that client. I mean, it was years before I agreed to do business with my boss, my ex-boss, who's the chief technology officer there. Well, something else now. He's called something else. But it was a long time before I agreed to do work in the division that I used to be in. But I felt that gave me great confidence as well, because we were providing services to one of their largest programs at the time when they were Barclays Africa, and it was across Africa, the Africa countries, about 13 countries. And the project management services we were providing were to a client I had never met, and then a division that I had never met, and not the easiest of divisions to deal with. So through that, I mean, the business grew very quickly, and we're part of the enterprise development program for ABSA. We remain a part of the supplier development program for ABSA. So we graduated from enterprise development, and they supported us. I mean, some of the projects we were paid for in advance, but I mean, they don't do that for any and everyone. They were backing me as an entrepreneur, that they at least have a comfort in, and have there were people that could vouch for me. So that's why I'm saying my business has never really struggled. We were cash generative from the word go. But that doesn't mean that I haven't had struggles in business. I've had big struggles in business because, you know, if it's not finding the right people to deliver on that, because if somebody has given you cash up front, you better deliver. And there are legal implications if you don't. So I've had that as a challenge, finding the right people. You have a challenge of people also not performing as you expected. There's a challenge sometimes with clients who just mistreat your people. But I'm willing to lose business if a client mistreats my people. I've done it multiple times. I've fired a client before, and they were shocked. But you know, when you do your best and the client is still not happy, and you realize that the problem is actually not you, because you can change people, you can swap out people multiple times, but if the client's expectations keep shifting and the goalposts keep shifting, and in project management you can't have goalposts that continuously shift, because the client is never going to sign on that. And so I got to a point where I was just like, you know what, it's best to just end this contract, because we've done everything we can. Because clients like that will tarnish your reputation, and they'll go around saying you're not delivering, whereas they're the ones that have a problem. So I have a very simple philosophy in business. It's not business at all costs for me. I never want myself to be chasing business because I'm desperate. So again, when I say, you know, that my business has never struggled, it depends on what your how you are going about your business. I started a business that can be cash generative, but it's about getting the client. It's about, you know, making sure that you deliver. So I've had my struggles in business. You know, you lose contracts, you lose projects that you really don't want to lose, and That's an everyday thing for, not every day because we wouldn't have a business, but it's part and parcel of what we do, you know. Sometimes you hustle so hard for a project with a client and you get the right people on board and people resign and you're just like, why? And sometimes it's hard for the client to let you replace people because it feels like sometimes it just gives them that opening to take back the budget. So yeah. So I've never had my business has never struggled financially. No, because also around the time that I started, and guys, I'm telling you these things because I think these are things that if you haven't explored being part of an enterprise development program at any corporate, you are losing out. I mean, we were part of the Adapt IT Enterprise Development Program as well, where they gave us offices for free, infrastructure for free. It's what I do now for some of the businesses that I've had in the program. I don't do it for everyone, so please don't contact me. Please, guys, no. So I was fortunate enough to have a big listed company do that for me. You know, offices, infrastructure, and you know, we used the services, legal services, marketing services. So I really negotiated that very well. It wasn't really, it was free, but I was also contributing to the company because I did some work for them. So that was also really helpful for us because we didn't have the huge overheads for 3 years. We didn't have to be paying offices and paying for Wi-Fi and all those things because that's very costly. Even printing costs we didn't have. So in business also it's about your credibility and the profile that you've built in what you are good at. So if you just zone into what you're really good at, and I started a business that it had been my career. So I didn't have to go start and introduce myself to people about who I am. You know, a lot of people knew who Amanda was, and I had built up a lot of credibility in corporate. And that takes you very far. But having said that, you know, so it may sound like I had it easy, but I didn't. To get to that was years of work. In fact, I think it was I'd say it was my entire career. But also then to stay in those projects at those clients and to grow the business. One of the single biggest challenges for any small business is being dependent on one client. So, I mean, for ABSA was a big client of ours. ABSA is still a big client of ours, but the challenge for me was to diversify and bring in more clients. And that was hard because I'm growing a business in places where people don't really know me. So you can't rely on the relationship card all the time. But I mean, since then, all the banks are our clients, all of them. All the big commercial banks are our clients. We've got multiple different industry clients, and we grow a lot. So, you know, yeah, I think that's so I never had to have an internal struggle about accepting job offers in corporate. I never went back. I never looked back. I never talked to anyone about corporate jobs when I left. I left. And I focused on the business. So the no was very easy for me. Okay, let me just take some of these questions. Nana, do you mind just switching on the lights for me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, love. Okay, let me try and answer some of these questions, guys. There's a lot of them. Oh, this is about The Lost Kingdom. How did I find it? I don't know. I just came across it on Netflix. Tina says, how are you accepted as a strong female leader in the MA? What is MA? Maybe you can tell me that. But I think let me talk about acceptance as a female leader, as a strong female leader. I think first and foremost, you need to be comfortable with yourself. You need to be comfortable with the role that you play in your ecosystem, and you need not be doubtful about what you bring to the table. And being a strong female leader does not mean you have to be, mistreating people or showing them who the boss is. It's about leading from a place of empathy, from a place of care. I think that, and this one, I'm 100% biased. I think that women make the greatest of leaders because of how we are wired and how we have the ability to nurture. And I think that that's the kind of leadership that is mostly required in a world that has had one form of leadership style for a very long time, and I'm using that very loosely. So I think you need to embrace your role and embrace who you are, and understand that your role is about positively impacting people's lives and leading. And being a leader and a manager are two different things. Leaders are called for much more than just checking what people are doing. It's about, I think the greatest expectation of a leader is how you can rally people from different backgrounds and different classes, different privileges, different education levels, how you can rally them around a common goal, how you can get them so committed to a common goal through just making sure that they know you see them, they know you value them, they know that you see. I think that's one of the things I do. I see people as human beings, not contributors to the bottom line. So for me, I care more that you are happy, and that your home is happy, and that your kids are healthy. And if you need to take time off work, take time off work and do what you need to do. I don't think of people as prophets or profit lines or contributors to the profit line. I really think that if you look after people, the profits take care of themselves, and it's been proven time and again. So, we must rise up as strong female leaders. We must take up our positions, because that's what's needed, and why not anyway? Why not? We can do it. We are great at it. And whatever, I don't think there's anything that male leaders can do that female leaders can't do, and in fact, I think it's proven that female leaders really know how to bring the tribes together. So yeah, no, and acceptance, you don't need people to accept you. You must firstly accept yourself, and acceptance from people comes from how you carry yourself and how you treat them, because ultimately that's the only thing they'll ever remember is the way you made them feel when they needed you the most. And I think if leaders miss that trick, then it's such a shame, because we can make such a big difference. This one says, "Hi Amanda, is Makoti your daughter-in-law? Do you do the Makoti chores, especially on funerals?" I'm a Makoti, but I'm not. My mother-in-law is not really a traditional mom-in-law. When I'm at my in-laws, I cook because I love to cook. That's what I do. But I don't do things that are out of the ordinary. My mom-in-law would never allow that. I actually have I write about her in my book, Therefore I Rose. So. But I'm a person that won't sit down and just watch people work by themselves. So I will get up and help. Fortunately, the funerals that we've experienced have been during COVID. So, because I don't like funerals, I don't like attending funerals. Not because of the sadness, I just think the whole process is just, I just don't. I want to say I just don't enjoy it, but I don't think anyone enjoys attending funerals. But it's really not something I prefer doing. So yeah. What businesses am I in? I'll tell you what businesses I'm not in. I'm not in Forex. I'm not in crypto. I'm not in Bitcoin. If you've been dealing with anyone that is pushing all that or telling you about that, it's not me, it's fake. And there's a lot of those fake accounts going around, impersonating accounts. They steal my content and post it as though it's me, especially on Facebook. There's one account on Facebook that is troublesome. So that's not what I'm in. Somebody did say earlier, just Google me. So just Google me. It's amazing that I write in my bio some of the things I do, but people still want to ask me, what do I do? How does one navigate in starting a business? That's a very broad question. So it will be difficult to answer that. So maybe be a bit more specific about what the question is, because starting a business is like a world on its own. So if you can be a little more specific in your question, I can try and help. Okay. Thank you. She's from Denmark. Are you trying to start a business in Denmark? Thank you very much. Okay, let me see. Lebohang says, you should hire me when I leave corporate. We will expand. Don't know what, but it no. I don't do things with people who don't know what they want to do. Zam says, do you sometimes worry about your business not doing well, and how do you handle that fear? I think as a business owner, you probably constantly worry about that. So I do worry about that. But you know what I worry most about? It's not so much my business not doing well. It's the impact on the people that depend on me if my business does not do well. So if my business doesn't do well, I'm gonna carry on because I've got my things, you know. I'm a multiple income kind of girl. Yeah, so I'll carry on. I mean, I've got other things going for me. So I always worry about my people. I worry about, you know, what they will do. And it's a constant worry. But it's not it's a reason to keep going. It's a reason to keep pushing. It's my why. So it's not a fear that debilitates. So and it's also not something that keeps me awake at night. No. And also I can tell you without shame, one of the things I pray for the most is my business. I pray for everything I touch. I pray for all my businesses. I pray God continues to protect me, protect my businesses, protect my people, because, you know, you can only do so much. There comes a time when you hand over your worries to God, because, you know, what's the point of constantly worrying? You know, it's some things you can't control. But I'm also able to bounce back from disappointment. So I pray a lot for my businesses, because what I'm able to achieve through my businesses is not, it's a legacy thing. It's a life-changing thing, and not just for me. It's for every single person that comes in touch with me, and that's hundreds and hundreds of people. I put food on people's tables, you know, and not just through giving them jobs. It's who I procure my services from. One moment. Yeah, David? David? Sorry, guys. Can you ask him what he wants? Yeah, so, you know, it's who I procure services from. It's a whole ecosystem. So my worry is never really about, you know, what am I going to do? No, I'll be fine. But it's what are my people going to do?
He wants to talk to you about that he isn't answering the phone.
I'm busy here, so he can wait or he can call.
What should I say?
He can wait or call. Call Tati.
He isn't picking up though.
Yeah. Kama says, do you think the sacrifices you did assisted you in reaching the executive level in corporate? I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I'm great. I'm good. But of course, the commitment and having the companies that I worked for, having their interests at heart and the ability to look after people and lead them well. So it's a lot of those things. But I don't really think that sacrifices lead you to succeeding in corporate. And this is what I've been saying. There is no correlation between how much sacrifices you make and your ability to climb up the ladder. It's you know this because you know some of the laziest people in corporate are the ones that just keep succeeding and keep climbing and keep getting the biggest bonuses. And those people are just those that know how to manage up. They know how to talk the game, and we all know them. But they just manage they manage well upwards. So I think you succeed in corporate by being well-rounded in how you manage your stakeholders. And first of all, it's about understanding who your stakeholders are, who are the people that are going to champion your cause. And on Vastly Sage YouTube, I did a mentorship class on the difference between a sponsor, a mentor, and a coach, and when you need one, and when you need which one. So it's so important to have sponsors, but multiple sponsors, not just only certain people that seem influential or popular, because those people can be out of the system anytime. I know that my success in corporate was, yes, working hard and being a really great person to work with, a good human, because I think we underestimate how just being a good human matters. And then being able to have relationships across top, bottom to bottom. I always say that people like to only align themselves with certain people only because they're top level people and etc. But power that you have today may not be power tomorrow, and people that might be in power today may not be in power tomorrow. So that person you may have ignored or mistreated might be the one you need in the future. So it's a combination of a lot of things. But I do not for 1 second advocate for people to sacrifice their personal lives just to climb up the ladder, because it sometimes doesn't yield the desired result or the desired outcome, and you end up feeling resentful, and you end up feeling very done in, yeah. Mutlabe says, what advice can you give to a business that is looking for funding? Please watch on Vastly Sage YouTube, the talk show. I did a segment on funding for entrepreneurs with my friend Zizipo Nyanga. Zizipo is just finished as a Chief Entrepreneurship Officer at Ubank, and Zizipo has run the Masisizane Fund at Old Mutual. She was the CEO there, and their job is to focus on SMMEs and funding SMMEs. So please watch that episode. It's the talk show part of Vastly Sage YouTube. And in fact, just watch all of it. It was season 2, so the one that we did last year. It was incredibly helpful, and I think that you will get a lot of answers from that. Sorry, they're just going through. Imani says, hello Amanda, as a young lady who desires to be great, what are the steps that I need to take? Oh dear, that's a very open-ended question. I just think you need to be a little more specific, but here are a couple of things I've learned in my life. Just give me a moment. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry. So a couple of things that I have learned in my life. Nana, can I have a phone there? Is that, you know, as you're growing up, you have to find some grounding, that you must ground yourself in a very strong set of values. And those values will guide you throughout your life, be it in your career or in your personal life. And remember that you take yourself everywhere you go. So whatever you do has got to be about what do you want out of your life, and what is it that you're trying to achieve with your life, most importantly. I'm taking a shot here. So it's important to have a very strong foundational set. And if you didn't have it, start working on it. Start reading up on what it is that you lack. And I talk about inner work a lot. It's not just for older people, it's for young people as well, to understand where you're coming from. Because it will help you to avoid a lot of mistakes that you might make along the way that are highly costly. So I'd say really spend some time grounding yourself in a strong set of values. And what do values do? They guide you along the life journey. They determine your sense of right and wrong. They when you are faced with a situation, your values are your compass. They tell you this is not the right thing to do. And it's that inside voice, you know. And also I think that for me it's about listening to God's voice. And I know, you know, we like listening to God's voice, but it's so important because I think God speaks to us deep from inside our gut. And if your gut feeling says don't do it, because it will cost you a lot if you go against that. And yeah, there are lessons that you are going to have to learn the hard way, but I think that when you have a strong head on your shoulders that's guided by a strong set of values, be it in your career, whatever you choose to do, you'll be able to do it. And whatever those values are, and everyone's values are different. But it's without that, I don't know, you know, how people actually live lives and how they guide their lives. And don't ever hold yourself back. And I think that's so important. And it will come through in what your opinion of yourself is as you build it, because that also builds over a period of time depending on how you've grown up. And it's about just keep going. There's I think we get so tense about life, but just live and just take the opportunities that you must take, and don't think that opportunities will keep coming to knock on your door. I one of the things I've always done in my life is grab an opportunity with both hands, knowing it's never coming back again. So because I didn't come from a place of multiple opportunities, great support, no. So whatever I got my hands on, I had to make sure that I did it to the best of my ability, and that if I never got another chance again, I wouldn't feel awful that I didn't give my best. So I think that, you know, one of the things I've started to notice in the younger generations is, I guess because things have come so easy to a lot of younger people. I mean, when I say younger people, the next generation after mine and our children, sometimes that sense of hunger is not there, where you're just like, I have to grab this opportunity. And I don't ever dare want to compare generations and things like that, but some of us had to be hungry. That was the only way out of our situations. And we've been blessed to be able to then pass that on through to the next generation in some shape or form. And what we do want, yes, is strong-headed young ladies who are going to not have to tolerate some of the things that we had to tolerate just to get on. It's the same conversation with the generation before us, you know. So that's just how it goes. So I hope I've helped a bit. Okay. Whoop. Windy. Can you help there, please? Don't just ignore it. A door just banged.
Yeah, it's closed.
I think it's banging from the other side. Thank you. How can one change careers? Please watch Vastly Sage on YouTube. First mentorship session. Was it the first? No, second. Just watch it. I spent a lot of time on that. Thank you, Siri. Mama Bear says, sorry, I'm only jumping on now. Would you describe yourself as an introvert or extrovert? I'm both. I'm both. Remember, those are, that's not really your personality. It's just where you draw your energy from. So I draw a lot of energy from other people, but I also know when to withdraw, and I withdraw a lot. Because I believe I have to recharge, and I'm one of those people that can completely recharge and re-energize myself so that I can give to other people, and then I withdraw. I actually think I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert, but a lot of people misunderstand what those two mean because they think it's a personality type. I'm an A-type personality for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely both. I get tired of people. I get tired of expending energy because I do. It's what I do. So when I need to, when my body and my mind say it's time to back off, I'll back off, and I completely withdraw and re-energize and then come out again. I know there's a lot of questions here, so if I don't get through all of them, please join me on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock on Vastly Sage YouTube channel. I will be doing a live mentorship session, so you can ask me the questions if I don't get through them here. This wasn't really meant to be a question session, but I always fall into this trap. This question says, should one approach you with a business venture to invest in? As an investor, what do you look for? Please don't approach me, thanks. I have my ways of investing in businesses, but I don't like people that sorry, not that I don't like it. I don't want people to contact me, because remember, there's a lot of fraudulent activities out there. So I'm quite particular about what businesses I invest in. Nankanja says, hey Amanda, do you think paying for PR management is necessary for a small business that's trying to expand? Well, PR management is something completely different to marketing and to business development. So maybe if you have to work out what are you trying to achieve. And PR is, and I'm not a PR specialist, but PR, from my understanding of PR, is more around the positioning and messaging and positioning a brand than it is about sales and you can say, and that's what actually PR experts like to say, is that what they do leads to, but it doesn't always lead to revenue. So I think just work out what the requirement is. When you understand what the requirement is, you'll then be able to see what service do you require. And whatever service you require, and this is the thing in businesses, you have to make the money go a long way. And if you're going to spend some money on a service, you must be able to measure the success of that service. So upfront, you agree, what is it that you are looking to achieve? And if it's about lead generation, be very clear about that. And don't just spend money for the sake of spending it. And it also depends on what kind of business you have. So it's okay to talk to experts if you're not sure. But only you will know what the requirement is for your business. And then you can quantify, you can say that yourself. You can be clear about what that is, and then go about understanding what service would you need to be able to deal with that particular requirement. And I'm a person that says don't spend money unless you really have to. Post Wendela says, how do you manage to get your second large corporate client after ABSA without relying on relationships? I relied on a proven track record. So that's why it's so important that you treat your first client as though it's gold, because from there on, you can talk to others even where you don't have strong relationships. And in all honesty, it's not that I don't have relationships, but I've had to build the business outside of relationships, because sometimes all a relationship will do is open a door for you. What you do inside is completely up to you. Pretty much the same as ABSA. Relationships opened the door for me, but relationships don't keep you there. In fact, relationships sometimes are the one thing that is pressure on you, because you are under pressure to deliver. These people put their names on the line for you. So it's about proven track record. It's about credibility, and that's very important. So you should never mistreat that first client, because that is your springboard. That's where you can really grow from. Of course, depending on how you've delivered. We have never had to run any campaigns to say anything about our services, because we get business through word of mouth. So our clients refer us to other clients, and that's how the business has grown. It's through word of mouth, and of course, relationships as well, but credibility above relationships. This one says, did you ever struggle with the imposter syndrome? If so, how did you manage it or overcome it? No, I've never struggled with imposter syndrome. Please buy my books, amandatambuza.com. Imposter syndrome is not something I've ever suffered from, because I know what it has taken for me to get here. And everything that I achieve is not out of some luck or favor from people. It's what I've worked for. And I think once you start to understand yourself, where you've come from, what are the things you've had to really navigate to get where you are, the less you feel like, where you are is not through merit. And it's, I really think you should read my books, because I think you haven't. All right, let me take a few more, and then you can... Someone says, have you always been confident? You seem like the kind of person who wasn't scared of interviews while you were still climbing the ladder. Why would I be scared of interviews? If I want the job, I want to talk to people about it. So I've never had... I've always backed myself up, and that's something that has come from a lot of work over time. But I wanted to grow in my career, which meant that I had to talk to people. And I was that person that was changing jobs every 2 years, 2-3 years. So I was never really afraid to go and talk to people about what I wanted. And it wasn't about what can they give me. No one was doing me a favor. It was about what do I want. And I think that's something that you'll be surprised, even people still at who are at senior levels who struggle with, especially as Black women who constantly want to take what we're given, because, oh my gosh, we feel like, oh, thank you, it's a favor, oh, I don't deserve it. It's not, no. And I every single interview was about what I want from the job. I mean, they called me for the interview, so clearly there's on paper I look good for the job, and now I need to be asking them questions. I need to know if it's the environment that I want to work in, and not compromise on the pay. If this is the pay I want, this is the pay I want. And if there's room to negotiate, there's room to negotiate. There should always be room to negotiate, but you should never walk away feeling like you are defeated, because then you're just going to be resentful. So no, I've never been afraid. again, I talk about having treating opportunities as though they would never come again. So for me, I've never been in a position where I'm like, I'm scared to talk to people. No. This question says, hi, Sis Amanda, do you ever get stressed from work? How do you manage it? I find I'm forever stressed at work, but despite enjoying it. Well, find out what's stressing you and get rid of that. I think sometimes we make a mountain out of a molehill. What's the English saying? I just think sometimes some people are quite addicted to stress. And when I was in corporate, I think I was quite addicted to stress. There are things that you really don't have to stress about. So I think just take a step back and understand, what are you stressing about and why is it stressing you so much? And if it's stressing you, clearly it's not good for you. So deal with it. And often it's about dealing with how you react to a stressful situation rather than the stressful situation itself. And I'm a person that really understands that I can't always control the outcome. So if I've done my best, then I can't control the outcome. And yeah, of course, some things upset you or you feel strained from it, but I don't dwell in any situation. I already told you that. So I deal with whatever it is and I move on. But also, stress ages you, so it's not cute to stress. The only person you can control is yourself. So you watch how you react to those situations and change that if you don't like it. This one says, hi Amanda, as a young female, what advice would you give regarding investment options, e.g. stocks, shares, and it says, e.g. stocks, shares, just insight and a bit of guidance looking into long term. I cannot give you advice on that. You need to speak to a professional a financial planner. So you need to talk to somebody that is certified to do that. I cannot give you advice on stocks, on shares, on any money related issues, and nobody should do that. This is how you people also get scammed. So I do not give financial advice. Please find a certified financial planner, and they'll understand what your portfolio is. They'll understand what your situation is, because how I've done it is not going to be how you do it. So and also, no one should actually give you financial advice. Not even your spouse should be giving you financial advice, or your cousin, or your whoever, because if they're not a certified financial planner, they should not be giving you, or a financial professional, they should not be giving you advice. So only certified financial advisors should be advising you. So I can't give you guys investment advice. Go look for it, certified financial professionals. Please be very responsible with that. There's so many online scams, and some of them use my face, so sadly. This one says, with all that you have accomplished, what do you still aspire to accomplish? I only ever want to accomplish what God has in store for me. So I don't really have, I don't go out there wanting to be out there for the sake of it. No, I follow God's lead. So everything I'm doing is where God has led me. And now I've got this big project in media and entertainment, which is really about targeting higher primary kids and how we can develop their life skills through entertainment. So it's really I lead a very purposeful life, and I don't just go around gobbling everything because it's available, And you can imagine I get invited to a lot of tables, but the greatest place I'm at is that I get to choose which tables I create, which tables I sit on, which tables I join, and yeah, so So I'm on the right path still. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. um, uh, This says, hi, Sister Amanda. What advice can you give someone who's addicted to newness? I have ideas for days. As a result, I start and leave things. I think you need to really look at yourself and understand why you do that. Because all you're going to do is burn yourself out trying to chase every idea and then abandoning it before you finish it. There's something that's going on inside of you, so you need to do the inner work. You need to understand why you cannot commit and see something through. And I think the last part of your question is there's something wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. I can't judge that there's something wrong with it. If you don't feel like it's getting you anywhere, it means there's something you need to work on. So just understand yourself better, and also see what are these things you're getting yourself involved with. And there's nothing wrong with craving something new, but you also probably want to achieve something at the same time. So commit to seeing things through. Maybe you just have a commitment issue rather than a newness issue. So it's, I think you got issues, love. Yeah, so I think just spend some time understanding why you have such commitment issues. It is possible that you fear you're not going to achieve what you want, so you'd rather abandon it. But all those things stem from the inside. So just spend some time and understand why that is. This question says, can you thrive as a new mom and newly qualified in a field? No, you can come down. Why? Can you thrive as a new mom and newly qualified in a field? That's fine, you can go that side. I'll check. Maybe when it banged, it shut. Sorry. Can you thrive as a new mom and newly qualified in a field? I'm ready to have kids. Of course you can. Just have your kids. Remember, maternity leave is only 4 months. So why wouldn't you thrive? Go for it. Enjoy the journey. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it here with the questions. I think I've answered a lot without even planning to do so. I'm enjoying your comments. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think the whole concept of having a well-rounded life, and this comment is about, some entrepreneurs struggle with that. I think sometimes we put ourselves under unnecessary pressure, and to be honest, we often just want to be seen as busy sometimes, or like, hustle has got me in a grip. The hustle doesn't have you in a grip all the time. Come on, if it does, then there's something you're not doing right. We all know what the hustle is. I've started businesses that didn't work out well. I've failed those businesses. I've learned my lessons and then grew a bit smarter with my other businesses. So I just think that sometimes people like to make themselves seem like these unicorns that don't need sleep, that have to keep hustling. Nah, I don't want wrinkles. I don't want to age fast. So. All right, guys. Yeah, I didn't really mean to answer questions, but I've actually quite enjoyed it. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ayanda says, I recently read about you. I'm inspired and impressed. You're a powerhouse. Thank you. Um, yeah, and I think it's okay to, Abigail makes the point, she's fighting not to do it all this year, choose a few and excel at them. And I really think that if your intent and your purpose led, you will excel at the things that matter to you. I found that things I do just for money don't really go as well as I plan. As a result, when I had those scenarios and those circumstances, thank God I decided that actually let me do things that are about impact, because then the money comes. It's a no-brainer. But we always sometimes you get involved in projects or in opportunities purely because of money. I don't do anything for money. I don't get involved in businesses for money. I'm not driven by that at all. I'm driven by the ability to make a change. And I've seen what that yields. The money comes. But when your intent is the right one and you're quite steadfast in what you are trying to achieve, and the vision may not be clear, but you can follow your heart, and that's where God leads you. I really think that there's a lot to be said for that. So I mean, I remember when the whole COVID thing started and people were doing all these PPE deals, and people called me into those things. I'm like, nah, I'm not just in life to just make money only, no. And that kind of money for me is, I'm not going to do something I'm not passionate about just because I'll make money. I don't live life like that. I only do things that I'm passionate about, and I've been able to make a living. So and a little more than just a living. Anyway, guys. All right, I'm enjoying your comments. Thank you. But yeah, so I think that it's Amanda says, I watched one of your lives once where you mentioned you do not appraise your staff on overtime they put in. I love how you encourage work-life balance in your organization. Oh yeah, no, it's a no-brainer for me. I left a system that I didn't like, so I wanted to start my own system, and this is my system. In my company, no one works overtime. No one works beyond the hours they're supposed to work. In fact, I think my people are chilling. I think they have such a good time. I don't manage anyone. I don't micromanage. You got a job, do the job, deliver. And I'm in a rhythm with my people, so we get each other. But I don't find it cute that people are overworked. I really think that's not now, guys. Not ever, by the way. But maybe it was a culture at some point. But having said that, some people are addicted to that kind of stress, and stress is very addictive. Don't underestimate the impact of stress. It is highly addictive. And sometimes you think that there's, like with all those people, I used to be like that. I like high-paced environment. I like where I'm constantly challenged. Now I'm like, I don't want challenges. I don't want fast-paced. I don't want cutthroat. I don't want any of that, because it is so toxic to your system, and you become part of the system. You become the person that's upholding the system, because in your head it was positioned as, there are some environments where the culture is, but that culture comes at a cost. It comes at a cost of your health, at a cost of your other commitments. So yeah, no, I'm okay. You can all be ambitious and push on. No, so even when I'm allocating bonuses and increases, I don't think, oh, you worked extra hours. No, my question is, why did you work extra hours? Why do you need to do that? Are you struggling to manage your workload? What's happening? Let's talk about that, then we can help out. But yeah, I started a system that I wanted to see in the world. All right, guys, I could read these comments all night. All right, I'm really enjoying it, but I have to stop now. It's unfortunate that with Instagram you can't, when you save, you don't actually get the you don't get the comments, because I would have enjoyed reading these, having a glass of milk because I'm not having any big people's drinks at the moment. You must listen to your body. When your body says thank you. We celebrated my husband's birthday a week and a bit ago, and that day we went a bit hard. So since then I've been threading carefully. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that I helped a bit, but I have to get back to my family now. Take good care. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope through this conversation where you are able to just change your life somehow. And it's the small things. So don't think that you have to go achieving huge things. It's just the small things that will lead to the life that you desire. And I really hope that today you can walk away from this conversation with the courage to just live your life. Just live your life. Yo, English, guys. Live. It's always a problem for me. So that you can live your life in the best way that you can, and know that it's a gift. It's such a beautiful gift. And why not? Why do other people deserve to be happy and you not? Why not? So I really think that it's if there's one thing we should be taking away in our lives, is the fact that we deserve to live. We deserve to enjoy ourselves. I think we should not shortchange ourselves. God gifted us this life so that we can do something with it, and it would be a shame if we come to the end of it and we look back with regret. So I hope that it's also one of the reasons I do these sessions every now and then, is to just maybe encourage each other to just keep going. And whatever I may have learned along my journey, I will always share it. I don't skimp on that, except advice about investments and marriage. I stay away from those, because you lose your money here, you come after me. And anyway, it's illegal to give anyone financial advice. So no. And marriage, I don't want your people coming after me because I said, because you know yourselves, you fight with your people and then you get back with your people, and then in your pillow talk, you're like, Amanda, she said, and then your people come after me. I'm not a marriage counselor, so I don't offer relationship or marriage advice. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mwah.